Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla if you're new here, and today we're going to start a very exciting reading vlog, and that is Shatter Me reading vlog. So I've been wanting to read this series for a long time. I actually started the series back in 2012. I read the first book, and I remember nothing about it. So I looked on Goodreads to see what I thought about it, because I remember thinking I loved the series, and I know I wanted to continue on, and I just never did for some reason. And when I looked back on Goodreads, I had given it 3 stars, and I have no idea what that's about, because I would have said this was probably one of my favorite books I read as a teenager. So I don't know why I gave it 3 stars, and I'm really curious to continue on with it and see if I still feel that way. Maybe I just was harsher on my ratings back then, because 3 stars isn't a bad rating to me now, but it just means I felt meh about it. Like, I probably wouldn't continue on. My cat's moving my tripod. Come here. Okay. So, as I was saying, I probably wouldn't continue on with the series. I may not continue on with the series if it's 3 stars, which I never did, but I know I wanted to, so I don't know. Maybe I'll like it more now, or maybe I was just harsher with my ratings back then. We'll see. But so far, I'm this far through. I'm about 88 pages into it so far, and I'm really enjoying it. I can't tell really exactly where it's going, and like I said, I don't remember what it was about, except for, obviously, I remember that Juliet couldn't touch anyone. It says right here on the cover, my touch is lethal, and then it's marked out and says my touch is power. So I remember that part. But other than that, I don't remember the plot of the story at all. So yeah, I'm curious to see how I'm going to feel about it. And also, normally when I read a book, I speed through it. I may put on the audiobook at like 2.5 to 3 times speed and just fly through it. And that's how I normally read. Or I'll just sit down and read physically, but I'll still just be flying through it, just enjoying the story, but not really thinking about it too much. And the way that I read, I assume the reason is the way that I read, I don't usually remember much about books like this one, or any books. It could be like a month later and I've forgotten what the book was about, depending on how much I enjoyed it, but for the most part, I forget just about everything I read. So with this book, I'm trying to take it really slow. I'm tabbing, which I never do. I only tab usually non-fiction books, or like I used to tab when I was in college reading for classes, but I've never tabbed a fiction book, so I'm doing that in this one, which is really fun. I didn't know if I would enjoy it or not, but I'm really having a fun time just reading it, paying attention to the words and the sentences, and having things like writing that I find interesting, or things that I think are going to be important plot points. I don't have that many tabs. I've got 4 tabs and I'm 88 pages in, but it's also the beginning of the book and I don't know what's going to be important yet. Yeah, I'm just rambling at this point. So, all that to be said, I'm starting the Shatter Me reading vlog, and this vlog's different than all the other vlogs I've done in the past, because the other vlogs have been based on the time that I'm reading the book, like weekly vlogs, daily vlogs, things like that. This one is going to just span the time that I'm reading this book. I could read it for a month, I could read it for 2 months, I could read it in a day. It doesn't matter. That's how long this vlog's going to be. But yeah, now I'm going to get back into this, read a little bit, and I'll just continue updating you guys as I go along and sharing my thoughts. But this will be spoiler free. If you haven't read the book or the series yet, you don't have to worry about any spoilers. I don't have that many thoughts yet. I'm enjoying the book, I'm enjoying the writing. It's interesting being in Juliet's head, because she hasn't been around people in like 200 something days. I think it was 264 days, something like that. And she hasn't spoken in that amount of time. So her thoughts are very short and disjointed. Yeah, I'm just finding that interesting. And it's also making it a really quick read. I haven't had much time to sit down and read it since I started, so the fact that I'm already 88 pages through in the little chunks that I've sat down and read is telling me that I could get through this one really quickly if I would just sit and read it. So I'm gonna do that for a little bit now, and I'll talk to you guys later when I've read some more. just sat down to continue reading Shatter Me, and I thought I should probably check in a little bit before I continue reading it because I'm now on page 136. So I've made a good little dent into it, but I don't really have that much to say about it at this point. I'm still really enjoying the writing. It's strange because I think I mentioned earlier, but it's written from Juliet's perspective, and her thoughts are so disjointed, and there's just run-on sentences, and she repeats things in her head, and she's really hyper-focused on numbers, and I'm finding it really interesting to be in her head and seeing the way she thinks after everything she's been through. So I've tabbed quite a few things, and mostly it's just tabbing things that I admire about Tahara Mafi's writing. It's mostly sentences and word choices she's used that I find really interesting. See if I can find an example for you. Okay, like this one. It says, I'm feeling stupid. I'm feeling brave because I'm feeling stupid. My words wear no parachute as they fall out of my mouth. I just kind of like the imagery there of the words just tumbling out of her mouth because she's just speaking without thinking, so they're coming out with no parachute. I don't know. It's kind of cheesy, but I keep finding little things like that I find interesting, and things that I probably wouldn't have noticed if I wasn't tabbing and if I wasn't reading it deeper. So I'm having fun with that. As far as the plot goes, I don't feel like a lot's happened yet. I mean, it has, but I still don't know where it's going. Like, it's definitely moving along, but I still can't see where it's gonna go yet. But I'm still really interested, and I'm looking forward to reading some more, so I think I'm just gonna sit here and read another chapter. What I've been doing is reading a chapter of this and then working out on my little stair stepper machine. So I think I'm gonna continue doing that for a little while longer. It kind of motivates me to work out, but it also motivates me to read because I struggle to just sit and read. I think I mentioned in one of my vlogs that I do this in hotel rooms. I'll sit and I'll read a chapter, and then I'll go and walk around the room a little bit, and then read a chapter, walk around the room a little bit. I kind of do the same thing here when I'm at home, but in the camper I've got my little stair stepper thing. It's the only little workout machine that will fit in here, but it works for me, so I think I'm gonna do that for a little bit, and I'll talk to you guys after I've made some more progress in the book. Have to say, Warner is a terrible person. No spoilers, but if you've read this, you know. So it's a new day, and I've been wanting to read Shatter Me all day, but this morning I got up and I did some cleaning and some laundry, and then as you saw in the B-roll, I baked a cake because tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and then Friday is mine and my husband's first anniversary, so I made us a cake to celebrate, and we can have it throughout the week. It's a caramel cake, which is his favorite type of cake, so I always make it for special occasions. And then after that, as you saw, I prepped some mac and cheese to put in the fridge so that I can just pop it in the oven with dinner tonight to make cooking dinner tonight super quick, because tonight we're actually going to celebrate Valentine's Day instead of tomorrow. Well, okay, so tonight we're going to have a kind of mini Valentine's Day celebration, and then tomorrow night we're going to celebrate and go out to the movies. So I wanted to make a good dinner tonight, but I also didn't want to spend the whole evening cooking, so I went ahead and prepped anything that's going to take a bunch of time so we can spend the evening together. And then, of course, after all that, I had to clean up again because I made a mess cooking. Now that that's all done, it's 4:30 in the afternoon, so Matthew will probably be getting off work soon. But I've got a little bit of time to sit and read Shatter Me, so I just wanted to pop in and let you guys know that that's what I'm up to, still reading Shatter Me. And I don't know if I'm going to have any more updates because I'm on page 249 now, and I still don't have much more to tell you guys. It's really just your classic YA dystopian Of course, with that YA romance and being a YA book, the romance is a big focus in the book, and it's super insta-lovey, or at least it feels that way. And I don't love that, but yeah, I'm still tabbing things that I find interesting. It's kind of funny because I saw a YouTube reel that said this book had tons of purple prose, but it didn't make any sense. And that's pretty true, but I kind of like that about this book because the reason for it is Juliet's a teenager. She's super dramatic. She's also been through so much, and she hasn't been around people. And so her mind is chaotic, and her thoughts kind of don't always make perfect sense. And I don't know, I feel like even though that's true and that's supposed to be a diss to the book, I kind of like that about it. So I don't know, maybe I'm just weird. But I'm still finding being in Juliet's head is really interesting to me. So as strange as the writing is, I am enjoying it, and I've tabbed a bunch of quotes so far. So yeah, I'm enjoying my time. I don't have much to say about it. Maybe it's just because it's the first book in the series, or maybe it's just not that deep. But it's still a fun time. And yeah, I'm hoping to finish it soon. And if anything crazy happens and I feel the need to update again, I will. If not, then this is probably the last time you'll see me until I finish this book. It's Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys were able to spend it doing something you love. I've spent the morning reading, and then tonight Matthew and I are going to go out to the movies. We're going to go see Megan, which I know is not a very Valentine's Day kind of movie, but I love scary movies, and it looked pretty creepy, and it just looked fun, so that's the one we picked to see tonight. But yeah, that's not what we're here for. We're here for the final reading update. So last night I finished reading Shatter Me, and again, even after finishing it, I still don't have much more to say other than what I've already said about it. I'm gonna give it 3 stars because it was fun, it kept my attention, I enjoyed the writing, which I think the writing puts a lot of people off because of the purple prose and the strangeness of it being in Juliet's head, but I actually enjoyed that. The reason it's a 3-star for me is the plot. I didn't feel like a lot happened in this first book. The first book felt like it was mainly just set up for the series, which is fine, that happens in series. A lot of times the first books are more of just a setup kind of book. So yeah, that's fine. I just wanted more from it. And that being said, a lot of times if I give a book 3 stars, I'm pretty much done with the series. But I have decided to continue on with this, and last night I ordered the second book, so it'll be coming on Thursday. However, I don't think I'm gonna do a reading vlog for all the other books. They might be featured in weekly reading vlogs or whatever. I just don't feel like I have enough to say about them, and I don't know if that's gonna change as I read the series. I hope it does, but either way, I'm not gonna continue doing vlogs for each book. But I have enjoyed doing this reading vlog for a specific book, and I'd like to try that again in the future with a different series. So let me know if there are any book series that you guys would want to see me read and talk about. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Shatter Me, and I know it wasn't very much. I don't know, I just feel like this book wasn't really deep enough to go into a deep dive conversation. Or maybe it's just me, I don't know, maybe it wasn't the book for me. But yeah, thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know if you've read this book and what you thought about it. I'd love to know, and I'd love to discuss it down in the comments below. But yeah, that's all I have for you, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!